accounts, Dominic Lovett had a very strong first year in Athens in 2023. But at the same time, we also barely began to scratch the surface of the type of impact that Lovett can have in the Georgia offense. But with both Brock Bowers and Ladd McConkey still in Athens, Lovett was relegated to more of a supporting role a year ago. However, with Bowers and McConkey both moving on to the NFL, Lovett has an opportunity to ascend to a featured role in the Georgia offense in 2024. So with that in mind, let's go to the tape to explore how Georgia can expand its usage of Lovett and unleash number 6 on the college football world in 2024.
We just stepped on their face with a hobnail boot and broke their nose. We just crushed their face.
What's up, guys? I'm Tyler, and this is the Glory UGA podcast, a film session edition of the Glory UGA podcast. I'm very excited about today's episode. This is really what I love to do, guys, breaking down tape, diving into the X's and O's. So I hope you guys enjoy it. And if you do, make sure to subscribe to this channel right now so you can get more content just like this upload directly to your YouTube feed, make it convenient for yourself, easy for yourself. You don't have to switch around for the videos. It's right there for you. Like, comment, and of course, make sure you check out the Glory UGA podcast wherever you get your podcast for a lot more content just like this leading up to the 2024 season and, of course, throughout the totality of Georgia's 2024 football season. But all right, let's talk about Dominic Lovett. A really solid first year for Dom as a Georgia Bulldog in 2023. 54 receptions, 613 yards, 4 touchdowns, inside the top 20 in the SEC in receiving. Barely right at number 20, but still nonetheless inside the top 20 in receiving in the league. But those are also not numbers that exactly blow you away. 54 receptions, 613 yards. Those aren't numbers that scream number 1 wide receiver, a top option in a passing game for a team that has aspirations to win a national championship. But that's exactly what I believe that Dominic Lovett can be for Georgia in 2024. And quite frankly, with Brock Bowers and Ladd McConkey both moving on, no longer on this roster, a full year in our system where he's not having to make that adjustment, that is exactly what I expect Dominic Lovett to be in the Georgia offense. And we started to see signs of that late last year when both McConkey and Bowers were banged up late in the year. Throughout spring practice, we were hearing rave reviews about the steps that Dominic Lovett was taking within the Georgia offense and what we got to see of him. I know it's a small sample size, but at G-Day, we were feeding the guy the ball, and we were getting him the ball in a variety of ways. So that is exactly what I expect Dominic Lovett to be. I expect him to be the number 1 option in the Georgia passing game this year. But for that to actually happen, for Lovett to actually become the number 1 option for the Georgia passing game, the Bulldogs are going to have to expand the way in which they use Lovett a year ago. Now, to illustrate this, I first want to examine how did Georgia utilize Dominic Lovett a year ago? I think it's pretty clear, guys. The plan last year for Dominic Lovett coming to the year, when you have Brock Bowers, when you have Ladd McConkey, at least you think you have those guys coming to the year, the plan for Lovett last year in the Georgia offense was pretty clear from the jump. Get the guy the ball in space and let him go to work with the ball in his hands. Try to create explosive plays that way, whether that's the screen game, whether that's the RPO game where he was heavily utilized, whether that's just the short passing game. Get the ball to the guy in space. Let him go to work. That's what we were trying to do for the most part with Dominic Lovett in 2023. And his 11.35 yards per catch, they are indicative of that, right? I mean, that's not really where you want to be. Like, that's not an explosive receiver. 11.35 yards per catch. In fact, that was the second fewest yards per catch amongst SEC wide receivers with at least 40 receptions last year. The only guy that had fewer than 11.35 yards per catch that Lovett had last year that had at least 40 catches was Trey Wilson for Florida, the true freshman. They really only utilized him in the short passing and the RPO game. You saw them do that to us in that first drive against Florida last year in Jacksonville. But the reality is Lovett was largely used as like an underneath option in the Georgia offense that could make plays after the catch. Now, that's really how we were trying to get him involved. Really, that's what it was. And he was relegated to that role because Bowers and McConkey were the guys that we were going to when we were trying to create explosive plays. Those were the top options, right? Those are the guys that when you could count on, could lean on, that had a history in the Georgia offense of creating explosive plays. And those are guys that delivered, quite frankly, when they were out there and when they were healthy. So it's one thing, though, for me to tell you how Dominic Lovett was utilized in the Georgia offense here. I can sit here and tell you that all day long. But it's another thing, I think a far more effective thing, to actually show you how Dominic Lovett was used in the Georgia offense a year ago. So let's do it. Let's go to the tape and illustrate how Lovett was largely utilized in the Georgia offense in 2023. All right, guys, so I went through all of Dominic Lovett's targets a year ago in 2023, his first year at Georgia. And I pulled out a lot of clips of him being used in the short game, whether it's a screen game, RPO game, just the quick pass game. And I tried to organize these for you. So this first set of clips here, these are primarily going to be plays where Dom was used in the screen game. There's going to be some RPOs that are kind of thrown in here as well, but primarily screen stuff. So let's go ahead and roll the tape, and let's see exactly what I'm talking about here. All right, so we got Dom right here. So this is a classic jailbreak screen, something that we used a lot with Dominic Lovett. You'll see I got a lot of clips of the jailbreak screen. And this is what I'm talking about, guys. We're just trying to get the ball in his hands in space and let the guy go to work. That was pretty much the idea. Now here he's in coming orbit motion. This one I would classify as an RPO. The reason I'm classifying this as an RPO is watch the lineman right here, all right? These dudes are firing out as though it's a run play. And that's the classic tell, guys. If you're trying to figure out, is this an RPO? Is it a called screen? What is it? Just watch the linemen. If they're block and run and we throw the ball, it's an RPO 100 times out of 100. It's that simple. So you see the linemen, they're block and run here. Carson is reading. Looks, and this one, honestly, this is like a pre-snap read. A lot of these RPOs to Lovett or pre-snap reads. He's just looking at what the defensive coverage looks like. Look how far these guys are playing off the line of scrimmage, right? Look at that space, all right? Yeah, it's 2-on-2. Those aren't bad numbers. When they're playing that far off the line of scrimmage, that's easy access. Those are easy automatic gimme yards. You just take it. That's an auto throw. You just take this. Just come in orbit motion here. Carson reads that pre-snap. He likes the numbers. He likes the situation. He sees we're going to get easy yards. This is first down. So we're just going to take what he gives us right there. Take what the team gives us. So this one is something we saw a lot. We saw a lot of these pre-snap reads, but boom, orbit motion. Just get out there, get the ball in space, and then pick up 4 or 5 yards. Same thing here. All right, this one, this is an auto throw. You saw this over and over and over again last year with Dominic Lovett. Not just Dom, but certainly a lot with him. This is an auto throw. This is a pre-snap check by Carson Beck. When you, okay, you got 2 receivers, 1, 2 right here, 2 defenders, 1, 2. So you got even numbers, right? You'll take those because you got one guy to block this dude right here. Now you got Dom Lovett, this electric dynamic receiver that you like to get the ball in space. You'd like to believe he can make one guy miss, right? That's all he's got to do, make one guy miss. And again, when they're giving you that much space, this is an auto throw. It's an auto check. We did this time and time again, and Dominic Lovett was the beneficiary of this quite a bit last year. See it play out here, auto throw, boom. And you can see, like, this is kind of an RPO, but this is Carson just making a check at the line of scrimmage. Because you can watch right here. Watch Cedric Van Pran. Like, woo, he's out here, man. Like, he's all the way out there. That is 100% a called run play that Carson just says, all right, I like my numbers out there. We're just going to throw the ball. All right, this one looks like a called screen. All right. Now you can say, all right, well, look, man, like we love the numbers out here. And you do, you have to like the numbers. So you got 1, 2, you got 1, 2, and 2 is all the way over here. And now we're motioning out Oscar W. Some tight end motion out here. So now you're going to have 3 on 2. Maybe this guy can get over in the play if he wants to spread out with the tight end motion. But you love those numbers. You can see, watch the linemen down here. They are not firing out. They're not blocking run. So this looks like a clear just screen call. We like the numbers out there. Like Oscar for a minute, doesn't have anybody to block. Right? I mean, they're playing so, and many did this all game while they're playing so far off our guys, and it's just easy access. A first down, easy first down. Right there, you can see this is a true RPO. We're blocking power here, right? So you can see, let's go back and watch this from the jump. All right, so we've got H-back, right? We've got, looks like I think we're going to pull the guard here on this. We're running either power, running counter. At least that's the call play in the huddle, right? Or at the line of scrimmage. But you have an RPO tag to it. Again, look at the numbers. Look at the space. It's too tempting. You cannot pass that up. You take that 10 times out of 10. So Carson sees it. You see the line blocking run. So it's an RPO. But Carson, I mean, look at that space. Again, this is an auto first down. They're just giving you first downs. 100% you take. Now, this is another just straight up jailbreak screen. We love the jailbreak screen with Dom Lovett last year. And I imagine we'll use that a lot with him again this year. It was effective. It was one of the most effective screens that we ran with him. Here's another jailbreak screen. Again, we love the jailbreak with Dom. It was effective. Get the guy the ball in space and let him go to work. Now, this next set of clips, these are all RPOs, all right? There was a few RPOs thrown there with the screens, but these are all straight up RPOs. You got Dom coming in motion right here. Here's number 6, coming in motion. And you're going to see this right here. This is the pre-snap. Again, that's what I told you earlier. A lot of these RPOs that we threw to Dominic Lovett, and not just Dom, but all of our receivers, especially to Dom. Dom was heavily utilized in the RPO game. Early in the season, when we were targeting him, more often than not, it was either screen game or RPO game. That's what we were doing this guy. And then later in the season, as guys got hurt, Brock goes down, we start to use him a little bit more in different ways. But early in the season, it was heavily in the RPO game. Just get the guy the ball in space, let him go to work. And you can see the lines blocking here, block and run. All right, it's a dead giveaway. But Carson, watch. This is quick, man. He is not reading anything post-snap. This is purely pre-snap stuff. And Carson's very good at diagnosing both pre-snap and post-snap. He's a master, man. Carson has an answer for everything. It's just, look at it, guys. First off, you got the numbers out here. All right, it's 2-on-2. You've got all this cushion. Carson sees that, and you're going to take, look, it's 2nd and 5. They're playing like 2 yards behind the sticks. It's like an auto first down. They're just giving it to you. So, yeah, you're going to take that. That's the smart move. You don't take that, I'm going to bench you. So, see here, motion. I mean, they got no chance. It's an auto first down. I'm just giving it to you. Now, this one is all about numbers, okay? So this is an RPO here. Watch the box, okay? So here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blockers in the box. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to count him essentially in the box. That's 7 right there, okay? We do not like those numbers. You don't really want to run into that box. So what do we have over here? Well, now we line Dominic Lovett up in the backfield initially. We're going to send him out in motion. So now we're going to have, once he gets out there, 3-on-2. Yeah, that's what we call a numbers advantage. We like those numbers. You're going to take that 100 times out of 100. Again, this is just a pre-snap. Watch how quickly Carson gets this ball out of his hands. He's not reading anyone post-snap. He sees this right away before the ball snapped. He knows exactly where he's going with the football. And again, look how much cushion they are giving us there. This is auto. It's auto. Boom, right there. Numbers advantage. It's 2nd and 1. I mean, why in the world are you playing that far off on 2nd and 1? That's crazy. That's why you're South Carolina. Yeah. I mean, yeah, sure, we'll take it. And he almost houses this one. Almost houses this one. Now, this next one, beautiful right here. So let's look at where Dominic Lovett's lined up. Look, we kind of snuck him in here, kind of like in an H-back role. It's Dominic Lovett. It's like a slot receiver. Now, this is a position and a play that we would utilize Brock Bowers with all the time. And I showed you this when we did the film study video, the film session video on Benjamin Urasi and why I think he's going to be a perfect fit in the Georgia offense. He can do a lot of the same things that Brock Bowers does. And if you missed that, go check that video out, guys. I think you'll really enjoy that one. And I also plan before the season starts to do a full-on breakdown. On that video with Benjamin Urasi, I briefly talked about the twin plays of Toothpick and Floss. Those are really our top tight end RPOs. But I want to go into more depth of that. But we are putting one of our speedier, shiftier receivers in basically the tight end role here. He's playing H-back right here, right? Kind of hiding him. And he's running what we call Floss, which is where he's just at the snap, he's just going to dart out here into the flat. It's an RPO. Carson is reading. Typically, you're going to read on the end man on the line of scrimmage. Sometimes it can be it can be a second level read. It just kind of depends on how we're calling that and also their defensive alignment, how they're lined up. But you're going to see Dominic Lovett is going to go. And really, the purpose behind Floss, again, we'll get into this more later on in the offseason, is you were trying, it's just another way to hold the backside in. It's a way to slow down the linebacker flow against the run and to help you out when you maybe don't have the numbers in the box that you like. So you are going to see either a handoff here that's going to come around this way, usually a zone, or you're going to see us toss the ball here in the flat on the Floss route to Dominic Lovett, which is exactly what we're going to do here on this play. Brock ran this a ton. And last year, Bobo kind of put his own little twist on it. You got this blocker here. Because look, the reason he can block is this ball is thrown by line of scrimmage. Watch. Ball's thrown behind the line of scrimmage. Just call it behind the line of scrimmage. Monken didn't do this as, like, Monken really introduced Floss and Toothpick to us, but he didn't always have the blocker out there. That's something that Bobo kind of put his own little twist on it and something he added to it. And it was really, really effective. Because when you get the ball out there to Brock Bowers, or in this case, Dominic Lovett, you got a blocker out there. Now he truly is legit one-on-one with this guy right there, right? So that is something that, again, if you think that Dominic Lovett is dynamic with the ball in his hands in space, which he is, that is what you're trying to do. He doesn't really quite make a miss there, but had a chance there. Now this one is another example of Carson Beck pre-snap liking the numbers. Watch Carson here, guys. Watch him. This dude is not even thinking about handing the ball off. He's not reading anyone. Not post-snap. That's a purely pre-snap RPO. Now, again, I know it's RPO. Watch the line. The line's blocking run. This is just a case of Georgia, Carson Beck, pre-snap, liking the numbers. All right, so you got this dude. He's going to come running out here because you got Dominic Lovett. He's kind of going in motion here, pre-snap. But really, we had one. You got safety back here. So you got two on kind of two. This guy, I mean, this is an outside linebacker. He does not have the speed to catch Dominic Lovett on the perimeter. So Carson realizes that. He understands it. He sees the numbers. He likes what he sees in the field here. And he's just going to take that yardage that they're giving us. Again, free access yards. Give me yards. You're going to take it. See, he does not have the speed to get out there. Dominic runs past him. And since 1st and 10, you get now 2nd and 1, right? Now this one, again, pre-snap. Watch Carson. Carson, is he reading anybody post-snap? Watch how quickly he just looks at Dom and gets the ball out there. This is purely pre-snap because look at what he's seeing, all right? All right, so let's look. We're going to run power again, or counter. So you're going to pull the tight end or the H-back. You're going to pull the guard. They're going to pull around, right? And you got some lead blockers there, right? Little gap scheme stuff for you. But let's look at what we have. So we have 6 blockers. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys in the box. Nope. We do not have the numbers edge. They have the numbers advantage in the box. I'm not saying we can't have success against Vandy running into a loaded box like that, but if you have 2 receivers out here on two defenders to the field, and one of the defenders is playing 10 yards off the line of scrimmage, basically playing at the sticks, you're just going to take that pre-snap. And Carson was a master at this. Carson, I mean, you want to talk about going through progressions and being a decision maker, going through progressions post-snap. Yeah, that's really important. But oftentimes, just as important is what you're doing pre-snap, the decisions you're making in pre-snap as a quarterback. And Carson Beck does a great job with this. That's how you get your completion percentage like 72.5% though, right? That's how you do that. And same thing here. Another one you're going to see in this next play, pre-snap. Literally the same exact thing. Same exact play, right? We got H-back right here. We're going to run counter this way. Lines blocking run. This is an RPO. This is even more advantageous. Look at this guy. It's like this could easily have been a touchdown. So Carson, you're going to see him just turn and throw the ball. He's not reading anybody post-snap. He sees his pre-snap. You got 2 receivers out here. This time you really got 1 defender, right? Because they're trying to play with a 2 high safety shell here. They're trying to, because a couple times we beat them deep by this point, and I'll show you that a little bit later on. But now they don't want to get beat deep, so they're going to keep that 2 high safety shell. Well, fine, you do that. I mean, you're giving us a first down. You're giving us 10, 15, maybe even 20 yards. So Carson sees this, and like you have to take this, guys. I know it's not sexy, but eventually, if you keep doing this, it's death by 1,000 paper cuts. The defense, the defenders, they're going to have to come up, right? They're going to have to change their coverage. They're going to have to get out of this 2 high safety shell because you're just getting first down after first down after first down. They can't let you do that all the way down the field. And then once they bring the safeties up and you got a one high safety shell out there, you got man coverage on the outside, now you hit them deep, right? So the way you create those explosive vertical shots down the field is by taking these plays. If you try to force a vertical shots in these situations, you're just hurting yourself. Take what they give you, force them to adapt to it, and then you have them where you want them, and you can hit those explosive plays, those vertical shots down the field. But Carson doing exactly what you got to do here. You got to take these plays. It's just easy money, baby. Again, first down. Just got to take it. Okay, here we're just going to go to some of the short game stuff. This is a lot of just defense that's sitting in zones and Lovett finding the soft spot in the zone, sitting down, turning his numbers to the quarterback, and just getting the ball in space and go making plays. You see that against Auburn right there. There's another play against Auburn, very similar concept. He's running a slant right there. Nothing huge, but just, get some yards. It's very similar concept you just saw there against Auburn. This is just a inside slant against a zone. 1st and 16. Now you're back 2nd and 10, 2nd and manageable, right? That's not quite stick because you don't have anybody in the flat. But what he's doing here is he just sees where the safety's playing, right? He knows this safety's got man coverage on him, right? This dude right here has got man coverage on Dom. Well, when he's playing 10 yards off of you, you don't want to run to him. You stop where he's not, right? So you pull it up here, you run a quick little sticker out, and you got minimum 5 yards there, 2nd and 9, so you get yourself into 3rd and short at worst, and might even be able to break a tackle, get a first down, and pick up even more yards after the catch. So that's just smart football right there. And he does. He breaks a tackle. Boom, first down, get you 10, 15 yards. Same exact thing right here, right? He sees that this safety coming down the box, a little bit pre-snap, late right before the snap. He sees guys, he's got a man coverage. He's still kind of playing off of him a little bit, not as much as the last snap, but he's just going to sit right there. And it's a smart, man. It's 2nd and 5. What do? You find where the sticks are, you sit down, you get the first down, you move the chains. That's a veteran football player right there. Well-coached football player. Gotta love that. So as you saw there, yes, Dominic Lovett was a regular part of the Georgia offense really from day one. No one's arguing that he wasn't. What I'm arguing, what I'm trying to show you guys, is that Dominic Lovett was utilized in a very limited way within the Georgia offense a year ago. He was rarely utilized as a vertical threat in the passing game within the Georgia offense, especially when Brock Bowers and or Ladd McConkey were both healthy and in the lineup. And that is exactly where Georgia can improve and expand its usage of Lovett in 2024. And the truth is, guys, I'm more of a Mike Bobo guy than I think the average Georgia fan is, but I'll be honest with you guys. The truth is, Mike Bobo and the offensive staff really didn't maximize what Lovett has to offer the Georgia offense in 2024. For whatever reason, again, there's context there. We had other legit options like first-round guys to throw the ball to, but we really didn't maximize what Lovett brings to the table. Because, I mean, look, yes, he is dynamic in space. I get the thought process behind wanting to get him the ball in space and allowing the guy to go to work with the ball in his hands. I get that. He can do those things. He is effective in that role. But the thing is, he can do far more than just that. He can be an explosive vertical threat in the slot that can get on top of defenses and create big game-changing plays for the Georgia offense. And for proof of that, all you have to do is look back to what he did in the Missouri offense back in 2022, a season in which he led the Tigers in receiving with nearly 900 yards receiving. He averaged over 15 yards per catch, which is significantly higher than the 11.34 or so yards per catch that he averaged in the Georgia offense a year ago. In that Missouri offense in 2022, he burned defense after defense with slot fades and other vertical concepts. So let's go to the tape once again to examine how Missouri used Lovett in 2022 to get some ideas, to get some clues about how Georgia can utilize Lovett and make him more of a weapon in the Georgia offense in 2024. So let's contrast how Missouri used Dominic Lovett back in 2022 when he was their leading receiver compared to how Georgia used him last year, which we've already gone over. So you're going to see Dominic Lovett lined up down here in the slot, and you're going to see just how much more they pushed the ball down the field vertically with Dominic Lovett and allowed him opportunities to create those explosive plays down the field, especially with the slot fade, as you will see right here. You're going to see he's got man coverage. He sees that. Brady Cook sees that. This is also before Brady Cook was like the Brady Cook we saw last year. Brady Cook coming in 2023 after this season had a very tenuous hole in that job. They brought in a couple of guys to try to compete with him. But you're going to see right here, he sees a single high safety who's playing to the field. So there's no one over here in all this space. You got this other safety moved up towards line of scrimmage. He's man on man here with Dom Lovett. This is an obvious, it might even be a check. I don't know what Missouri's doing, but it's a slot fade right here, and all you got to do is put the ball out there. This is against Abilene Christian because Dominic Lovett's going to beat that guy one-on-one, and he does. And huge game. And you'll see this over and over again, guys, over the next few clips. No chance. Absolutely no chance. Touchdown. Put 6 on the board. All right, this next play, same exact thing, right? Just against a Power 5 opponent. This is against Tennessee. Slot fade, baby. They murdered people with the slot fade Dominic Lovett in 2022. Now, this safety right here, they're showing a too high safety shell pre-snap, but it's not really a too high safety shell. They're trying to disguise it. This guy is going to roll down right before the snap. You can see right now he's already starting to move down a little bit. He's coming down the box, right? They're trying to get numbers in the boxes. We saw Mizzou last year. They run that outside zone over and over and over again, and they were hurting Tennessee a little bit with that. And so they're going to try to get this extra body down the box. Well, Brady Cook's going to see that. They're going to run play action. I think that's Cody Schrader back there. And now you got Dom Lovett one-on-one, no safety help over the top, slot fade right here to great effect. And just watching this, guys, frustrates me that we did not do this more with him last year. And you're going to see with all these clips when they run the slot fade, when they get man coverage out there with a single high safety look, it was, again, I don't know Missouri's offense as well as I know Georgia's offense. It looks like it was almost like an auto check for them. Like we're just going to throw the slot fade to Dom. Because they did it over and over and over again. So there's two examples right there. And here's another, this time against South Carolina in the other Columbia. Let's watch it again here, all right? So he sees this dude right here. They see this pre-snap. This safety sneaking up. He's giving it away. He's giving away that he's got man coverage on Lovett right here. And again, when they get man coverage, especially Dom Lovett man coverage with a safety, they're running that slot fade, which they do right here, yet again. And the single high safety tried to get over the top, but he still couldn't. Could not get over the top. Now on this play, yet again, another slot fade. This one against another SEC opponent. This one's against Arkansas. Got Dom right here. Arkansas right there. I had it right the first time. So he is the second receiver. He is this dude right here in this alignment. And they see straight up. You see across the board. But Arkansas is not even trying to disguise it. 1, 2, 3. This is man coverage. 1, 2, 3 across the board. Even Brady Cook sees that in 2022. And he knows when they get man coverage like that, he knows where he's going with the football. Once again, Dom Lovett, slot fade, and they kill people with it. Now, Missouri wasn't great in 2022, but Dom Lovett was explosive in that offense in 2022. Now, here, this is not a slot fade, but it's still an opportunity to get the ball vertically down the field. This is a wheel route. He's running the rail route, running the rail, up the sideline. But still, the concept remains the same. They're trying to get the ball vertically down the field to Dominic Lovett because that's what he can do. He's an explosive playmaker. Here is another slot fade. Once again, it's against Auburn. They see the single high safety, and that is a auto check for them. That single high safety is not getting over the top quick enough. And they almost beat Auburn that year, guys. They should have beat Auburn. They blew that game badly in Jordan-Hare. Now, this is against Kansas State. Same thing. I mean, I know it's like a broken record, but that's the point here, guys. I'm trying to sound like a broken record because they did this over and over again, and they were creating explosive play after explosive play with Dominic Lovett back in 2022, and we just weren't doing it nearly as much as Missouri did it in 2022. Look at that, guys. I mean, how often did we see that last year? Here's one more. Now, this is a deep cross. This is not, I guess it's not a vertical route per se, but it is a deeper route down the field, and you're given a chance to create explosive plays, big explosive plays in the pass game. Now, in the interest of fairness here, I have to be honest with you. It's not that we never pushed the ball vertically down the field with Dominic Lovett. It's not we never did some of the things that Missouri did with him. We just didn't do them near as much as Missouri did in 2022. And in my opinion, not nearly enough. So here is an example. I think this is the first game of the year last year against UT Martin. UT Martin they run that funky 3-3-5 defense. They're gonna have 3 down linemen. You can see them right here. 1, 2, 3. You get your 3 linebackers. 1, 2, 3, and then you've got your 5 DBs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So one of the benefits of running a 3-3-5 is it's easier to disguise what you're doing from a coverage standpoint, but Carson Beck's a tough guy to fool. So he sees what they're doing here, and he sees that Dominic Lovett right here is going to have man coverage. And what he's also going to see, you got Brock Bowers right here. All right, so Carson's reading this, all right? So we're right before halftime, right? So he's gone through a couple series against this defense and kind of gotten the rhythm with it. And he's not an idiot. He understands that, okay, Brock Bowers is Brock Bowers, and he's going to draw a lot of attention as he did in the first part of that game. So Brock is basically going to be bracketed here. by these two guys. So if these two guys have to take away Brock Bowers, that's going to leave these two dudes man coverage on the outside receivers. Dominic Lovett is going to have an easy release here from the slot fade, and we actually hit it. We actually hit it here. Didn't hit many of them, didn't try many of them. But when we did, he throws the back shoulder because that DB's played over the top. Good read by Carson. Not a touchdown, but I mean, right there where that ball needs to be. All right, this next play, this is actually not a slot fade. This is 4 verts, okay? We're going to have 4 vertical routes. We got 2x2 here, so we're going to have vertical route, and here's Dom Lovett, by the way. Vertical route, that's Oscar Delp. I think that's Vlad right down there. Vertical route. So this is 4 verts. That's all this is. And he's going to see right here that Dominic Lovett is going to have a favorable look. Because look, I mean, you've got this safety over the top. So you know you're not going over here, right? Because you've got 3 defenders, 2 receivers. You're not going over there. Well, what do you have here? Well, you got 2 receivers on 2 defenders. So you know you're going here. And he likes the matchup with Dom Lovett there, and he is going to hit him. But once again, great play, but we just didn't do it enough. And this is actually, so what he's doing here, this guy's actually playing a robber. This safety right here, he's going to rob right here. And you're going to have this linebacker that's going to carry this vertical. And that's just not a matchup that Vandy's going to win. Like, Vandy's not, even their DB's probably going to win the matchup. Vandy linebacker on Dom Lovett, when you got this safety robbing right here, trying to take away the middle of the field, I mean, you take that all day. And Carson, great quarterback. He sees this. He probably saw this in film study. They're going to run the robber here out of this look. And he knows that he's going to have Dom matched up right there. And, I mean, just game over, which it is. Big play right there. All right, and then this is against Tech. Now, this is the most Missouri-like look that we got last year with Dom Lovett, right? So I showed you all those tips of Dominic Lovett, Missouri in 2022, running slot fade after slot fade after slot fade. Well, this is like the one clip, guys. Again, I went through every single target last year, every single reception, and this is like the one legit slot fade look. I guess you could say that first one showed against UT Martin, but this is the one that looks a lot like what you saw at Missouri, where Carson's seeing this pre-snap. All right, he's surveying the field. He sees a single high coverage. What does that tell you? It means it's either cover 3 or cover 1, right? If it's cover 3, okay, you can diagnose that post snap. If it's cover 1, then these guys are all manned up, and that's what this is. So just like with Missouri in 2022, where it's almost like an auto check for them when they got this look, we get this look. And Carson's like, I know where I'm going. I'm going to Dominic Lovett here. Now, let's also think about the context here. Who was not playing in this game? No Brock Bowers, no Ladd McConkey. Was it a coincidence that when we get this look without those guys in the game, that this is what we go to, what we saw time and time again from Missouri in 2022 with Dominic Lovett? Is this potentially foreshadowing what we're going to see with Dominic Lovett in the Georgia offense in 2024 without Brock Bowers, without Ladd McConkey, when he's going to take on what I believe is going to be, as I've been saying, much more of a feature role in the Georgia offense? I think yes. I think the answer is yes. Look at this, guys. Look at the end result here. That's a walk. I mean, it's got 3 steps on him. It is like a walk-in touchdown right there. Just easy stuff. So when I say that Georgia barely scratched the surface of what Dominic Lovett can do within its offense, and that there's a lot of meat left on that bone in 2024, that is exactly what I am talking about. And that is exactly how Georgia can evolve in its usage of Lovett in 2024. Give the guy not only opportunities to make plays in space with the ball in his hands, but give the man opportunities to create game-changing, explosive plays in the vertical passing game, a la what we saw from Missouri in 2022. And if the end of last season, when Brock Bowers and Ladd McConkey were both banged up, and what we saw at G-Day is any indication, Mike Bobo and the Georgia offensive staff fully plan on featuring Dominic Lovett in the Georgia offense in 2024 and unleashing number 6 on the college football world. But all right, guys, thank you for checking out this video. I appreciate you being here with me today. Again, if you like this video, make sure to subscribe to this channel right now. Like the video, comment, and definitely check out the Glory UGA podcast wherever you get your podcast for a lot more content just like this designed for you guys, the most diehard Georgia fans out there on planet Earth. But I'm Tyler, and as always, go Dogs!
Man, is there going to be some property destroyed tonight. 26-21. Dogs on top.